everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, an old friends, new friends podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch A Muppet Family Christmas 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And today we are joined by a new guest, a first-time guest.
Surprise!
To the podcast. Who are you, guy?
Christopher Strand, younger brother of your host, Anthony Strand.
Well, see, I was so excited because I mentioned to you over Thanksgiving that we were doing this season, and you got excited and you said you wanted to come on. So I'm glad we could squeeze you in because we've talked about how this special is all about, the whole family gathering together, and Roz has been on, Ryan's wife, Stacy, our friend Joe Hennis, who's kind of like me and Ryan's brother, and our friend Danny Horn, who's kind of like me and Ryan's dad. So now we have my actual brother. What a thrill.
A blood relative.
Here. And yeah, you and I had talked about it, and it seems like I probably did watch this more than any of the other Muppet movies for sure.
Yeah.
Like this is one. Yeah, this is definitely one that we would put on, play the VHS at grandma's house on the VCR, not the VHS player.
Not on the VHS player. Christopher and I have talked a lot about how people say VHS player now because of DVD player, but in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, we never called it that.
This is like one of Christopher's personal crusades. Is to get
retroactively changed.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, if you're going to pick a hill to die on.
And we didn't call them landlines. We just called them phones.
It's true.
That's good.
But anyways, Christopher is here to talk with us about minutes 45 and 46 of A Muppet Family Christmas. In these minutes, the Muppets finish the carol sing, and Kermit gives Miss Piggy her Christmas present. So we start here with Robin finishing up It's in Every One of Us, which we heard last time. And then for the final song of the carol sing, the whole gang sings Together at Christmas, a song often called Old Friends, New Friends. Now, so far, we have heard hymns, older carols, hit pop songs from the 20th century. But where did this song come from, Ryan?
This song was written especially for a Muppet special. It was from The Christmas Toy, which was just a year before this.
Right. So I love that, like I said, they have all this like wide range of songs and just the confidence of we're going to finish up with this thing from a special we made last year.
That we just did, yeah.
Right. Like this song that Jeff Moss, the author of Rubber Ducky, just wrote for us is as good as like Ding Dong Merrily on High or whatever.
It fits though. It sounds great alongside all those other songs.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think it's a good song.
Well, as somebody who did not know where it came from, I would say it fit right in.
Sure. Yeah. Because you probably also don't know, like, I mean, certainly when we were little kids, neither one of us would have known, like, I Saw Three Ships either.
Right. But like, yeah, exactly. Good King Wenceslas is on there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But what about the song before it is a John Denver song, right?
Correct. That's in Every One of Us.
So is that another one that was written for a Muppet special?
You would think so. But like we talked about last week, that was actually written and originally sung by a guy named David Pomeranz for an album of his a few years before A Christmas Together.
That's right. You told me that.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it's famous because of that John Denver and the Muppets album. Like that's the only reason people know that song.
Okay.
So yeah, so I guess there's really two right at the end that are like, here's our recent Christmas hits.
Yeah.
With Robin just nailing it.
Robin, man, I talk on this show all the time about how Jerry Nelson is my favorite singer of the Muppet troupe, and Robin especially. Just what a great little voice, And but you also don't listen to Robin and think that is a 45-year-old man with a beard.
No, you totally buy that this is a little kid.
Yeah.
The song also works in the special in The Christmas Toy. I guess the context of it is because the old toys in the nursery are ready to make friends with the new toys who are coming in on Christmas. But it makes perfect sense here with all the Muppets, presumably some of these characters are meeting each other for the first time, and there's like 100 Muppets in this room singing the song together. So it fits perfectly for the situation.
Right. Well, and we've talked about how, like, in retrospect, the fact that Jim Henson as Rolf gets the line, some things change with passing years.
Yeah.
And then Kermit and Piggy say, let this feeling stay. Like, Jim Henson was gone 2.5 years after this thing came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And so, like, in retrospect, that feels like, I don't know, hits me right here every time.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, the whole timeline on these 80s Muppet productions, when you really realize how little time there was left for this whole ensemble to be together, is, yeah, it really does hit you.
So
Right.
here's a question as an outsider to the Tough Pigs forum. So Jim Henson appears in this later.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We'll see that in the next one. Yeah.
Was that right? I'm sure you're going to talk about that, but you just mentioned he'd passed away 2.5 years after this. How many things did he appear in after this? A lot or not?
He hosted the Jim Henson Hour.
Okay.
In 1989, which he appeared at the beginning and end of every episode.
Okay.
But that was the main thing.
Yeah, because he's not in Muppet Vision 3D, which he directed.
No.
And he's not in Muppets at Walt Disney World. I mean, he's in it. He plays Kermit and Rolf and all that.
Yeah, which is interesting. Like, yeah, they could have worked in a cameo for him in the Disney World special, but for whatever reason they didn't.
Yeah, well, and is Neat Stuff to Know and Do after this?
Oh.
Or was that before? It's right around this time.
Yeah, it might be like a year after this. Wow, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I'll just apologize now that your next episode is going to be 4 minutes short and this one's going to be 4 minutes long. Because I took this material and moved it to this episode.
No, that's okay. We'll find other things to talk about. No, but actually, Christopher, you should check out Neat Stuff to Know and Do, which is a video that they did. It's just like a Muppet video for small children from the late 80s.
It was part of a series called Play Along, Jim Henson's Play Along video.
But Jim Henson's on-screen appearance in that consists of teaching us how to skip stones. So it's great.
I feel like I lived it. I lived that video.
Yeah, and the role of Jim Henson was played by our dad, I assume.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I still can't skip stones. I've never been able to get the
Well, I
hang
wonder
of it.
if maybe was Jim's first step that you got to find a good skipper. Because if it wasn't, I can see why you still can't, Ryan.
Yeah, you're just throwing like round rocks into the ocean.
You gotta find yourself a good skipper.
Well, yeah, he says something like it should be smooth and flat, right?
But did he describe it as a good skipper is the question.
I don't think he does. No.
Yeah.
That's what was missing.
Weirdly, he described it as the Professor and Marianne.
Okay, so I just pulled up the Neat Stuff to Know and Do a screenshot of one of the tapes, and that's very familiar.
Yeah, because but is it because the puppets in it look like church puppets?
Well, were these? Yeah, maybe were these widely circulated or not?
I mean, I think so.
Okay,
like I don't remember seeing them as kids.
All of them were at my local video store, but that I'm sure your video store might vary.
Yeah, they might have had them at Videos Plus or something. That would make sense.
Yeah,
as rentals.
But anyways, what happens next in this special? So after the song ends, we go to commercial. We fade to black. Carol Sing is over after 10 minutes.
Oh, I just wanted to say though, I can really hear Big Bird's voice very audibly over everyone else's in the Carol Sing, and I like that. Because we've talked about how there's a handful of puppeteers who play a lot of characters in this, so presumably a lot of their voices are like multiple recordings of these songs kind of dubbed over each other, but you can really hear Big Bird's voice.
Right, which makes sense for Big Bird too, though, because he's very loud.
Yes, he is.
But doesn't it also make sense that since it's a Carol Sing, that Carol would sing the loudest?
Yes.
It does.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And we talked earlier about how actually after the Sesame Street characters, remember when they show up, they sing Deck the Halls? After that song, Big Bird says, "I love carols." Awesome. Love it. So after the commercial, we come back to a scene of Fozzie and his mom, where Ma Bear is hanging up Fozzie's stocking, and Fozzie's embarrassed because he's a grown bear. He's not a little cub anymore. And then she says, "Well, she'll take it down." And Fozzie says, "I didn't say that."
Yeah.
So, Christopher, you've never seen this before because this was one of the scenes cut out of the VHS release.
Okay.
I have no idea why. There's no song.
I really don't understand.
Most of the cuts were the songs. Some of the songs were taken out because they couldn't pay for the rights or whatever,
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know. It was on it when it aired on TV and then cut out of every subsequent broadcast.
Well, the one with Fozzie and Elmo turning on the Christmas lights on the tree also came right after a commercial break. So I really almost wonder if whoever was in charge of mastering the tape for home video release was just like falling asleep on the job and
Just sloppy.
a few seconds late, like, nobody's gonna care about Ma Bear hanging up a stocking.
It was like they were taping it off TV
Right.
and had paused it for the commercial.
Right. Exactly.
We're
Remember those
late
days?
Getting back.
Yeah. That's my
Good
theory.
stuff. So then finally, really the last scene we see here is that Kermit decides it's time to give Piggy her present. It's a mink, he announces, and Piggy is so excited.
She is so excited. She screams. She's so excited.
Well, it's funny because like before we find out that it's a Muppet mink named Maureen the Mink who loves Piggy so much that she has Piggy's 80s perm. She's seen everything she's done. She's played by Karen Prell. That's kind of where we cut off here. But before we find out that Maureen's alive, like Piggy is so excited about wearing a dead animal around.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which seems weird for the Muppets where most of them are animals and also can talk.
Well, and she's already wearing something furry. Like I couldn't tell if this was like a fur or a coat or a stole or what. So Piggy might already be wearing a dead animal in this, when this scene starts. So yeah.
I mean, it certainly is in character for Piggy to care more about fashion than cruelty towards her fellow creatures, right? Like,
I guess.
Well, I didn't. So I saw this 2 minutes, but I haven't seen the other 50 in
a long time. Yeah.
But is there something before this scene where Miss Piggy says all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others? Is that a different thing I'm thinking of?
I have no idea what you're thinking of.
I think that might be from Animal Farm. Now that I think about it,
I
think that's George Orwell. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. You always got George Orwell confused with Jerry Juhl. Yeah.
And this is where we should point out that the Jim Henson Creature Shop did build animals for a TV movie adaptation of Animal Farm in, I think, the late 90s.
Yes.
So
featuring Muppet Show guest star Peter Ustinov as the old major.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was like, no animal shall speak to humans ever.
It's pretty good.
It was great. It was really good. I love that guy.
So maybe Miss Piggy did say that.
Maybe she did.
Before this clip. I didn't.
Maybe Miss Piggy is Napoleon.
Maybe she said that to Kermit as like a subtle way of hinting that she wanted a mink for Christmas.
Right.
Yes, right. But what we're gonna find out, like, I mean, I guess we'll see more about Maureen next time. But I mean, she seems totally on board with this plan, right? It's not like Kermit trapped an animal to give to Miss Piggy or something.
No, when Maureen shows up, yeah. There's still weird questions you could ask. Like, did Kermit purchase Maureen the mink to give to Miss Piggy? Because that's a weird scenario in itself.
I like to think that he hired Maureen to be. She's like he basically got her a personal assistant.
Right.
Right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's better. That's a better way to look at it.
I should say though that I love Maureen. I love this voice. I love the way Karen Prell plays her.
Yes.
Like in Muppets at Walt Disney World, in a couple of years after this, Beauregard is kind of like Miss Piggy's personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very funny. I like seeing Beauregard, carrying Piggy's bags. But it would have been kind of nice to see Maureen the Mink as Piggy's personal assistant in Muppets at Walt Disney World.
I think
because we never see this character again.
You could definitely swap in Maureen the Mink and just change the dialogue. Like Beauregard just wants to go on all these rides, but that's not specific to the character of Beauregard. You could easily just have Maureen the Mink saying, oh, Miss Piggy, you're gonna love Big Thunder Mountain. It's so much fun. It's and it would have the same effect.
Yeah, she went to Walt Disney World before Kermit enlisted her.
Right.
Miss Piggy's Christmas present. But we get cut off here in the middle of Miss Piggy's dialogue. We'll be back to that next time. But for now, that does bring us down to the end. So, Christopher, before we go, you talked a little bit about this, but do you remember the first time you saw this?
I don't. It's as far as I know, it was just always there.
It was just on at Grandma Helen's
right?
house.
Like I think of this. What else would I think of? I think of the Tiny Toons cartoon.
The Tiny Toons music video. Yes, it was the 2 music video episodes, which is sitting in my basement right now, by the way. Yes. That tape from Grandma. Christmas Eve on Sesame Street would have been a big one,
absolutely.
I think.
Oh man, yeah. You kidding me? Oscar the Grouch spinning in circles, doing the do-si-do out on the ice to begin. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be another one. And honestly, I probably put those two together.
I missed out on that one because I didn't see Christmas Eve on Sesame Street until I was an adult. For some reason, I never caught it on TV or anything.
Was that right?
Yeah,
Wow,
but I love it
saw
now. Like, it's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
that's fantastic. That's a top Christmas special, I think.
Yeah. it's
Was,
great.
was that was a Christmas special on
Yes,
TV?
that is not a numbered episode of Sesame Street. It is like
Okay.
a PBS special
think
primetime presentation.
Yeah, it did air on PBS, right?
Yeah, it aired on PBS. Yeah, because it's like 59 minutes. I mean, there's no
great.
commercials. It's like a solid hour.
Yeah,
It's weird because there's no animations in it. You know, there's no like it's not quite an episode of Sesame Street. There's no letter or number of the day. There's no
Mhm.
there's no inserts about like I'm putting on my galoshes, you know, or whatever.
No, it plays
like,
more like a
Right.
Muppet thing. I mean,
Yeah,
just because
right.
yeah.
there's just those
Yeah,
Muppet and Kid moments that feel like similar segments on Sesame Street, but
Right,
they're tied into the story of what's Santa Claus going to do if there's no chimney.
Right, but then most of it is like Cookie Monster eating the telephone because it looks like two
Right.
round fudge covered chocolatey cuppy cakes.
Cuppy cakes.
or
Right.
whatever, you know. But Christopher, I was going to say the other ones would be like the Land Before Time sequels, right?
Yeah, all of those.
And Homeward Bound was a big one.
Would you like the whole family would gather around to watch these specials?
I feel like it was mostly just us kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like my grandma would be in it. Like I was actually just talking to my grandma about this weekend, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, you know, the one where they go to Fozzie's mom's house for Christmas, and she's like, oh yeah, I love it. You know, and
Yeah.
that's all she.
Yes.
You know,
Nice.
She's like,
But
she's
you
not
can
going to sit
see
here
like
and be
you
like,
can see the magnetic wooden doors that it was behind. Like you can still see exactly where it was sitting in her living room.
yeah, oh yeah,
That,
In the
it's
little
like
cabinet,
any
yeah.
of those. Yeah, it's wild.
The same piece of furniture.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
She had a little cabinet under her TV filled with tapes,
Nice.
and that was where all
Yes.
the tapes were.
and to her that was probably like it was just another. Any of those things were just like, oh, it was just another video she had. Like what
Yeah,
are
it
the
was
what
like
are the
something
what
for the
CDs do
grandkids.
you have? What CDs do you have in your basement that your kids are going to be like? That's the one that my dad listened to when I was a kid. Like this CD, this Fountains of Wayne album that means probably nothing to you that
Yeah.
Iris is going to love when she's 35 years old.
Right,
Like, it's
right.
I hope
wild.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you hope so.
Yeah.
My parents just got a grandfather clock, so they had to move out the VHS shelf in that corner of the room. So they made us sort through the tapes and decide if we wanted to keep any of the, like, you know, Ray Stevens music video collection and all that kind of stuff that we haven't watched in decades anyway.
Okay, so The Streak is an animated video, or it's like a live action video with an animated naked Ray Stevens, right?
Yeah, with like dust clouds covering, I think, his parts. Yeah, because he's running so fast.
Christopher actually gave me a Ray Stevens record not too long ago. I think it was in your basement, right? The previous owners had it.
Can I get that back?
Sure.
Just now, Ray Stevens VHSs are disappearing.
What does that mean?
So I think I need to get my hands on some more Ray Stevens material.
Because your parents just got rid of it, right? Like they're becoming more valuable.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
becoming
I
more
think I told
valuable.
them they could get rid of it or so. Yeah.
So
So to
that's
answer
one
your
last-
question, I mean, I'm not going to say the Muppet Family Christmas is the top Christmas memory for me, but just until last year, I thought the word Juhl was based on the writer of A Muppet Family Christmas, Yeri Juhl.
Did you?
Yeah, so I just learned that it meant something else.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, I'm not saying it's number one on my list, but it's up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, that just about brings us down to the end. Do you have anything you want to plug? Any projects you're working on, Christopher?
Oh
Before we
no.
go.
Let's see. I'm a math teacher. We got finals coming up before Christmas. I think that's the project I'm
All right,
on.
everybody study for your math final.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Awesome. So that brings us down to the end of this episode. We have one more before we go. We have one more episode of Muppet Family Christmas, and then Ryan and I will sit under our own vine and fig tree, a moment alone in the shade. See you next time for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
Don't look, Ethel.
Don't look, Ethel.